जमी, सबसे पहले आपको बधाई इतनी बड़ी पारी खेलने के लिए। 338 रन जब टारगेट मिला तो टीम का क्या थॉट था, और जब आप बैटिंग करने के लिए आए तो आपके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा था कि इतनी लंबी पारी, इतना लंबा स्कोर चेज करना है, तो आपके दिमाग में क्या प्रोसेस चल रहा था, उसके बारे में ज़रा बताइए।
या आई थिंक जब ये स्कोर आया, द टीम का थॉट वाज दैट अगेंस्ट न्यूजीलैंड इन 49 overs we had scored 3-4-1. Against Australia and Vizag, where we had scored 333. So we knew that we've done it against this team, and I felt with the way Australia started, they were 30 runs short with the way they were going, with the start they got. So I knew they were 30 runs short, and DY Patil is such a pitch, any score is chaseable. So I just knew that and मेरा thought process क्या था कि I just had to be there, क्योंकि runs आते हैं, but I need to be there to get those runs.
Jemimah, it was a world record chase in the league stage that Australia did against India, and today it was, you think it was a fitting reply to Australia that you had a world record chase in women's ODIs, and were you praying, or were you tired that you were in between overs, in between deliveries, you were kneeling down and looking down? Were you praying, or what was it?
Yeah, I was praying, I was talking to myself, because actually I had lost a lot of energy. I was feeling very tired, and because of the tiredness I was playing a few shots that, it was a very tricky phase at that time, ki should I go right now, should I take it deep? So I think that was one learning for me also, like to just stay there, towards the end we always take it deep. But yeah, I was praying, I was talking to God, because I feel that I have a personal relationship with Him, and when I cannot carry myself, He always carries me. I honestly feel whichever team would have come in the semi-finals, it would have been the same reply from our team, because we don't want to play the team, we want to play the moment and win that moment. We want to play the match and win the match, and whichever team would come, I think our reply would be the same. We would play with the same passion, same aggression. We would play to win this match for India.
Hi, Jimmy. So, first of all, it was very, very tough out there, like the conditions. I think the humidity was really high. And during a chase, we've seen India, lose a lot of wickets towards the end and not keep up with the pressure, like against England we saw. And so can you just talk about how you just kept your nerves, and what was the communication like in the middle, and especially to play through that heat? And, I think against Australia specifically, can you just
tell us? I think the first thing I'd answer is that I have been a part of chases. I think against Australia, almost 3 chases where we were going well, we got it to run a ball and we lost from there. And I think those moments taught me a lot, and I just wanted to be there to finish it off. Even the previous day we had a group discussion. We were just saying what all we could do better in this World Cup, and all I said was that I want to be there till the end and finish the game. Whether we are batting first, I know if I'm there I can make a partnership and get those 20-30 runs extra, because I run well, pick gaps, unusual gaps. And the second thing was, if we are chasing, then I want to make sure I want to take the team through. And this just feels like a dream actually. It just felt like everything was such a setup, because the last month wasn't the easiest, but it just felt like a setup for this moment. So yeah.
Jimmy, everyone dreams to win big matches for their country. It was the World Cup semi-final against 7 times champion Australia, and your knock was, the defining moment for India. How do you rate this innings? And you were also riding on luck, so how do you feel about, encashing those chances?
I mean, how do I rate this innings? Actually, I have not let it sink in. All I would say was I didn't play for my 100. I didn't play to prove a point at number 3. I didn't play for my 50. I just played to make sure India win. At that board, I wanted to see India win at the end. And that was my only motivation. And I think when you have that thought process, I think God also favors you. You do it for the team. You don't do it for yourself. And I think I've always played my cricket that way. And I'm at short for words, actually.
Hi, Jemmy. Well played today.
Thank you.
You said yourself you have been against Australia in chases like this, where coincidentally every time a Harman wicket falls, India tend to lose out at the death. pretty similar to what happened today as well. And just want to know, in that moment, what was that internal dialogue
Yeah.
like between you and yourself? What was that internal dialogue like?
Yeah, actually, when you said that, I remember at that point, I also felt that way because, and I was telling Haridi that we both have to finish it. We can't leave it for the end just because we are set and we know we can take it through. And when that happened, but actually, it wasn't a blessing, but it's like a blessing in disguise for me because I was kind of losing my focus because of my tiredness. But when Haridi got out, I think that added more responsibility to me that, okay, I need to be here. Okay, she's out, I'll score for her. And I think that again got me in the right zone. Then I started just, sensibly playing. So, yeah.
Congrats on the win. Just talk about the last month, as you said, it's not been easy. You've missed out on a game as well. Your first ODI World Cup. Could you just talk about the emotions of it all?
Yeah, I'll be very vulnerable here because I know if someone is watching this might be going through the same thing, and that's my whole purpose of saying it because nobody likes to talk about their weakness. I was going through a lot of anxiety at the starting of the tournament and it was a lot, before few games also, I used to call my mom and cry the entire time, just let it all out. Because when you're going through anxiety, you just feel numb. You don't know what to do. You're trying to be yourself. And also, in this time, my mom, my dad, they supported me a lot. And also, there was Arundhati, who I think almost every day I've cried in front, almost every day I've cried in front of her. Later I was joking, I said, you don't come in front of me, I'll start crying. But she checked on me every single day. And there was Priti who helped me. She also knew what I was going through. Few of the net sessions, she was just standing there. Even yesterday she came, she just stood there just because, didn't say much, but she just knows that her presence is important for me. There's been Radha, who's, always been there taking care of me. Like I'm so blessed to have friends I can call family, that I didn't have to go through it alone and it's okay to ask for help. And that's what happened. And my mom also, she's as emotional as I am, but she went through a lot, my family went through a lot, but everyone stood by me and believed in me when I didn't, when I couldn't. And the other thing, then what happened, it started with the anxiety thing. Then I was dropped from the team. That really hit me. And when you're dropped, you have a lot of doubts because I always want to contribute to the team. But that day, I couldn't do much sitting out. And then when you come back in, it's a lot more pressure with everything that was happening in the past month. But sometimes all you need to do is just hang in there and things fall into place. So I think, yeah. So I'm very grateful for the people who believed in me when I couldn't and were there for me and understood me, because I couldn't do this on my own. I'm grateful to Jesus because just His presence and reading the Bible just has encouraged me in my tough times. And the Bible says that weeping endures for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And today joy came, but I'm still weeping.
We take just last two questions.
Yeah, Jimmy, is this your greatest cricketing moment ever? And how special is this, considering that you missed out on the 22 World Cup? And was that the point where you resolved that you're going to come back with a bang, because we've seen your career go up and up from there?
To be honest, when I was dropped, obviously when I came into this World Cup, being dropped the last World Cup, I wanted to come out there and not prove a point, but just do things that my team wins. I kept reminding myself that, because it's very easy to get into that mindset, and that mindset never has helped me. But I think today, not just today, but from the last few games, all I thought about was, because I started off, I didn't start off well, things just kept getting worse and worse. First I was dropped off the previous World Cup. Then I'm going in, got out on 0 in the first match. Went in next match, got a great start, couldn't convert it. Again getting out on 0, then getting a 30, then being dropped. So just when I felt, okay, now it's going to happen, things just got worse and worse. So this knock is very special for me because of everything I went through. And just to come out here do it in front of my family, do it in front of my team, do it for the team, do it in front of my people, Navi Mumbai, for the crowd. I think it would be so far my best knock. I'm saving one more for the finals.
Hi, Jemmy. 5 minutes. That's all I want to know from you. Those 5 minutes, the thought that you had when you came to know you will be batting at 3 and the time you walked out. What went through your mind in those 5 minutes?
I was kind of prepared for it when I thought that, okay, maybe the score is there, they might send me. So when that notice came, I wasn't like unaware, I was ready for it. So, but I just gave myself, some time. I was taking a shower, I took my ice bath. First I asked, then they said it's the same order. Then they sent a message again and they said, okay, you are going to go now. So I said, okay, but I was in the shower at that time. I just freshened up. I ate something because I'd not eaten. And I think once I walked in there, I just thought of how would I play for a Mumbai team when I lead Mumbai? How would I do it there? Because I knew I needed to be there, build a partnership with Smriti or Harman or whoever comes in from there. What would I do? And I know how important this match is, and I wanted to be there to finish it off. So all I did was, just kept telling myself, just stand here. Just stand here. Amazing things can happen towards the end. You just give God a chance. Just stand here. You never know what can happen towards the end of the match. And then whenever thoughts were coming, like, when I reached my 50, when I reached my 100, I didn't celebrate because at that moment I thought of it and I looked at a hotel right here and I said, tomorrow morning, what would make me happier? Would it be a 50? Would it be 100? No, it would be India winning. And I want to wake up with that fear. I want to sleep with that smile ki we are playing the finals and I'm waking up to get ready for a finals. So I think that kept me motivated too.
Thank you everyone. Thanks a lot for your time.
Hi Alyssa, Hardik on the result. Just could you talk about the emotions of it all in the last 3 overs? What was going through your mind as captain in the context of the game as well?
Oh, I think just disappointed. I think ultimately we just weren't sharp enough probably today, probably in all 3 facets definitely, to give ourselves the opportunity to win that semi-final. I think we did pretty well to hang in there. We created a lot of opportunities and let ourselves down in that regard. So probably sitting here disappointed, knowing that we sort of did that to ourselves a little bit. Not taking anything away from the Indian performance. I thought they played really well, but there's a little bit of an element of we let ourselves down a little bit.
Hello, Alyssa. How do you process a defeat like this? At the halfway stage, it felt that you had a good score on the board. It's a semi-final. You've batted first. There's crowd and everything, and it's not a total that gets chased every day in women's cricket. What was the chat in your dugout at the halfway mark, and how do you now process this defeat?
Yeah, I think we did really well to get a score like that, winning the toss and batting first. I thought we were awesome. In saying that, I think we could have been a little bit better and got a few more, ironically. But look, that's the nature of the game at the moment. We're playing on good wickets against good sides, and teams are chasing scores like that down or even setting scores like that more frequently, which I think is amazing from a more of a context of the entire game, which I think is really cool. So I think at the halfway mark we thought we went okay. We thought we still had a pretty big job to do with the ball, and ultimately I just think we dished up a little bit too much junk to hit at times, and also probably just didn't capitalise on the opportunities that we did create. So disappointing. It sort of feels a little bit un-Australian to be not as clinical as what we normally are, knowing how well we've played this World Cup. Feels a little bit disappointing sitting here.
We saw some dropped catches today. Do you think that changed the course of the match? Was it the semi-final pressure?
It definitely changed the course of the match. Was it semi-final pressure? Maybe. Was it just concentration? Was it anything? I'm not sure. We could put that down to whatever. But like I said, on a pretty decent wicket that seemed to be getting better and better to bat on as the night went on, to create those opportunities that we did and not capitalise, I think was disappointing. Yep.
Hi Alyssa, tough luck today. So just looking back at the World Cup, you've obviously had your some of I think really great moments out there, and today it was one of those days where you couldn't put things right, put things together, I guess. So looking back, I mean, what is your biggest takeaway from this particular tournament?
Oh, I think we're playing some unbelievable cricket, and that's why it doesn't quite feel right sitting here at the losing end, not sort of getting to Sunday's fixture. I thought we played really well right throughout this World Cup, and I simply say that because of the different contributions that we had right throughout. It wasn't just one person making all the runs or taking all the wickets. I think the team contributed equally right throughout, which I think, put us in a really nice place heading into this final series. So I think there's some huge positives out of it. I think this next 4-year cycle leading into the next World Cup is going to be really exciting for our group, and potentially see some really cool opportunities for some of the younger players to get greater opportunities in this side, which I think is going to improve the Australian team, which I think is really cool. So a lot of positives out of it. We just weren't able to get the job done tonight, which is disappointing.
Hi, Lisa. Jemimah, I'm sure you'll agree, Jemimah played one heck of a knock today. At what point in the field did you sort of feel the momentum shifted towards India through the course of her stay on the field?
Yeah, I think oddly, I think we're still in it with 4 or 5 overs to go, probably 5 overs to go. I think we're still in it. Funny things happen in games of cricket when it gets tight like that. If you can put enough pressure on an opposition, things can unfold. So she played really well tonight. Obviously, like I said, we gave her a couple of opportunities which didn't help us, but I thought she played really well. I think her resilience, her mental resilience out there to get her team over the line was exemplary. So full credit to her.
Alyssa, we will have a new champion on Sunday, and you along with England and New Zealand will have a companion in terms of the title holders for World Cup. Mm-hmm. What do you think this new winner can do to world women's cricket?
Oh, I think it's really cool, and I think it's probably a showcase of this tournament. I think I've heard many people say that this is the closest tournament they've ever played in when it comes to ODI World Cups, and I tend to agree. You look at the performances. Obviously, rain played a little bit of a part in Colombo, and probably the bottom 4 teams probably suffered a little bit more in that regard. But I think there was genuinely 8 teams in finals contention, which I thought was really cool. And I think to see a new winner is going to do wonders for the game. To see how well it's been supported here in India, first and foremost, I think is great for them to be able to have the opportunity to play it at home in front of home fans in an ODI World Cup final is going to be really special for them. So I hope it does great things for Indian cricket, and likewise for South Africa as well. I think they've been close in the past. So for them to have an opportunity in a final, it's going to be great to watch. It's going to hurt a little bit, but it's going to be really great to watch, and hopefully we see it do great things for the global game and more investment in each of these nations moving forward.
Alyssa, between these 2 losses in the semi-final, one in 2017 and the one tonight, there was a 15-match unbeaten run. If I may say, Australia responded to that loss with a 15-match unbeaten run. How do you see this group responding from tonight going forward? And in terms of building to the next World Cup, and also how many seniors, the number of seniors that are around in this group, what should be the road ahead for them? You're there, Elise is there.
Yeah, good question. I think first and foremost, I think the opportunity for some of our players to play in a really high pressure situation like that is going to do wonders for our group. And I think the same thing happened in 2017. We reflected on that and thought we could have done things a little bit better under pressure, and where we can be better at little certain aspects of our game moving forward. And I think we made that shift moving forward, and we've seen it over the last cycle doing that. We won in 2022, so this is just another reignition, I suppose, to our group to say, you know what, we can be better at little moments of the game. But I guess for our group to experience that, to be put under pressure and see how we respond is going to do great things for us moving forward. So that's really cool. I hope we see more one-day cricket on the calendar. I think that's going to be really important in this cycle. We see a lot of teams in this World Cup that obviously we're forced to play against in the Women's Championship, but I think more bilateral series are going to be amazing for the global game in that regard, and make sure that these World Cups are highly competitive. So that'd be really cool, and obviously the opportunity to see the next generation come through and play the one-day cricket the way that they are, the way that they can, and really take the game on, which I think we've seen towards the back end of this World Cup. So I think it's really exciting times for the women's game.
Hi, you've lost, but there's a bright spot in your team in Phoebe Litchfield, the way she batted. A word on her, given the fact that she has these shots in her repertoire that works in subcontinents as well as back home in Australia in the bouncy conditions, and almost seems like from an Indian point of view, an apt replacement for Meg Lanning being consistent against India. What is, like, tell us about the makings of Phoebe Litchfield, if I may.
Yeah, I think she's just a really natural, free-flowing player, and that's been really great for our power play in one-day cricket. And today she was able to cash in on that and get herself a score, which I think was really crucial at that point in time. So, yeah, she's been great. And like I said, I think this is sort of what happens at the end of a cycle. We see the next generation come through, and then they play the game slightly differently to what we did. We have for long periods of time. So yeah, it's really exciting. She's key in our group. Obviously, really handy in the field as well, and drives standards in that regard. So she's a great player in our side, and I'm looking forward to see what she can do moving forward.
Hi, Alyssa. Again, sorry to take you back to that one partnership between Jemmy and Harman.
Yep.
Harman has been part of, many has been like sort of a very vital cog for India in many knockout games against Australia, and many a times her wicket has been the reason why India sort of crumbled towards the end.
Yep.
But today that did not happen. Talk us about the frustration of seeing the same player pulling it off again and again. I mean, she pulled it off technically today, but just the frustration of that partnership when it was building and it built up to be such a game-changing one.
Yeah, frustration's probably not the right word. I mean, they're two high-quality cricketers and have been for a long period of time for India, and we knew that. It's a good wicket, good batting conditions, and we probably just allowed them into the game a little bit by not sticking to our strengths with the ball for long enough. So that was probably the most frustrating part about it. It wasn't so much that it's them out there doing their thing, because we're used to seeing that, and we're used to sort of problem solving and working it out on the field ourselves to take that wicket and break that partnership. So look, kudos to them. I thought they played really well, and Harman seems to step up in those big moments when India need her. So she's going to have to do it all again on Sunday to get them over the line. Thank you.